right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh
Yahushua,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. We want to give double honors unto the apostles and those of great millstone we learn this truth from, and say peace, mercy, and blessings unto all of them from elect. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, which means He exists, or He is to be. The name of the Son is Yahweh, which means He is the deliverer. Right now, we are the Hebrew Israelites. There's 12 tribes that consist of our nation. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Hispanics, we're part of that people that make up the lost 12 tribes. Right, and the self-proclaimed white man, he's not white, he's red. According to the Bible, Esau, Edomite Junior. All right, and according to Bible prophecy, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. Okay, and Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua. You know, we're just together in the spirit to edify the sheep. Oh, you got that?
Yeah.
Let's start from all one.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
Right, and the my people is the Israelites. You know, that don't apply to all the nations on earth. You know, this thing is it deals with, you know, the covenant. The covenant was only given unto the Israelites. That's why when you go to the book of Amos 3, it says, you only have I known of all the families of earth. Okay, so the Lord rose up prophets and sent them to his people to warn them. Now we also sent to the other nations too to let them know their judgment, you know. But this message is strictly for the Israelites. We need to come in, repent. What says Matthew 22, bid them to marriage. You know.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
Prophecy means to say before it happens. So we're saying things before it happens, such as Babylon is going to, you know, cease. The Most High going to turn into a desert wasteland. It's never going to be inhabited again. World War III is coming. The dollar's going to collapse. The mark of the beast is coming. You know, that's what we're saying. You know.
So he said, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
Right, prophecy means to say before it happens. You know, keep going.
Which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
And people like to say, oh, this is a white man's book. But the Lord, he always told his prophets, his men to write these things to which they saw. He told them to write it down. You know, it's written, it says that in Isaiah, noted in the book. You know, Habakkuk, he that write it, make it plain upon tables. You know, so the Bible is a collection of books from the prophets. You know, and I believe in Malachi, it's called the book of remembrance. You know,
fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee.
That's unbelief. You know, we're not troubled by the unbelief of the world. You know, because even Paul said, he said, so what if some don't believe? You know, we don't care if you don't believe that, you know, the Lord is coming back soon. We could see the signs. You know, that's why Matthew 13, which I'm going to get that real quick. Because the Lord said, he said, blessed are your eyes so they can see. You know?
Keep reading.
Oh, no, 1 second. This is Matthew 13 and Matthew 13 and verse 13. It says, therefore I speak to them in parables, which that's, you know, let me look that up in the blue letter. This is Matthew 13 and 13. You look at the definition of the word parables.
Strong's G 3850, parabole, parabole.
It says an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. You know, so the Lord was telling them, but he didn't give them the understanding of those stories. He only gave that understanding to certain people, certain men. You know, it says, therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. So a lot of people, they might see us on the highways and hedges or come across the videos, but they don't really understand, you know, because if they did, they said, shall the trumpet be blown and people not be afraid? They'll be afraid, you know, because look at what's happened, how what Trump did to Venezuela. They say he went down there, they was bumping Chief Keef music, you know, showing that he's a gangster. But Isaiah 19 said he's the cruel Lord. And now he's talking about taking Greenland. So it's what, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. You still got the thing going on between Iran, which is Persia, and the Holy Land, you know, people you can't talk about. Verse 14 says, Matthew 13:14, and in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which said, by hearing ye shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. So that means it's a portion of people who the Lord don't want to be healed. So that means that makes this truth that much more precious. Like if you can understand it and get it, you know, it's a lot of people they can't get it. You know, they can't understand it and get it. You know, like you know, or they messed the song up. That's why they say all nations can be saved, or you can call it any name you want to. You know.
Even now, I was watching the Monat Zapbot video about two Christians trying to use wisdom of Solomon, trying to say that all nations Esau could be saved. You know, like the Edomite dude, they trying to use wisdom of Solomon, talking about everybody can be saved. So that, like you said, they overreaching because they know their time is up. So now they trying to, they you know how you get beat up so bad, you dilute, you kind of like punch drunk, and you should just throw in whatever you can grab. You know what I'm saying? You try
to hit below the
belt. Yeah. So they throwing all types of stuff out now. So because they know their time is up. You know, as I be watching a lot I be on YouTube, I'm starting to see a lot of Israel, like small hatters, they promote a lot of their commercials about coming to Israel, speaking the language now. I'm seeing more of those ads popping up on YouTube. Because they trying to change the narrative, you know what I'm saying, that they the people, you know what I'm saying? And you can tell like they getting nervous. They know they about to be up out of here. They know people, they being exposed, so they trying to turn people back on them to being the people of the Bible. Every time you can go on YouTube right now and you will see like a lot of their video ads popping up.
This is from responsiblestatecraft.com. It says 1,000 U.S. pastors travel to train as ambassadors for the Holy Land. So what are they training them on? They training them on their doctrine. Then I believe they also paying Elon Musk some money to make, you know, AI more Amalek friendly. You know.
So that's what I was getting from it. That's what they was doing. I said, man, why I keep every time they showing you coming to Israel? Yeah, I need to come to Israel. They promoting it. You know, Amalek is promoting like they the people. You know what I'm saying? And then you starting to see a lot of ads about, you know, with the speaking the language. They promoting that. You know what I'm saying? They promote more of they, you know, fake Jesus Christ movies. You know what I'm saying? You know who they call that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Caesar Borgia.
Deception ain't working no more. Yeah. That's why you're gonna have to come down with a sword.
Yep. And fear not the imagination against the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not that incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, the Lord I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword of famine, death, and destruction.
So that's what's coming. You know, terrible things are coming. The Lord said, man, he's gonna bring plagues upon the world. That's, you know, famine, you know, war. That's the main one. You know, I'm looking at this article. It says breaking President Trump, right, the cruel Lord, seizes Russian tanker and prepares to annex Greenland. And he's going to get Greenland for the same reason he went into Venezuela. They went into oil. You know, if you used to watch the Chappelle show, Dave Chappelle, they was talking about George Bush. What he said something about oil, you know, if you cooking, and he was joking, but that's what Esau's after. They're after the oil. Venezuela, South America is rich in oil, but also Greenland is rich in natural resources too. But it's also a strategic military ground. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they need to deter China and Russia. You know, the scripture speaks about the third world wars, rumors of wars. You know, so these are things that are happening in the earth right now.
Can I say something? Even though when I went to the grocery store, I went to like 2 other grocery stores, man. I'm starting to see a lot of stuff is not being restocked. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to see like, man, I think all these across the lake, they've been out of bag of chicken wings for like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, if you got stores in the hood, that's gonna be the first. It's gonna be a food desert. That's why you gotta go by Esau. And even you might have the same store in the hood, but if you go to the one where Esau at, it's better quality products.
Products, yep. Like Wegmans down here at Titans, they got better, better quality food. Man. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go to I had to drive way out to no, I went to Price Right first, then I went to Barney's. I was like, damn, they still got a bag of chicken wings, man.
Yeah, Esau gonna put the food deserts in Jake neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what you gonna have, the Arab corner stores?
Yep.
All they got in there is, bullshit, man.
Mm-hmm. For sword and famine, death and destruction, for the wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
Yeah, that's because Esau is in rulership, but say the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And he had covered the faces of the judges thereof. Meaning what? He whitewashed. Esau, Hollywood, if you said, you watching up an Esau movie, you would think that Egyptians were white.
Right.
The Vikings, the kings of the Middle Ages.
Mm-hmm.
All of our history has been hidden from us. But when we bring that out, that's why it's damn near like a joke.
Yep.
That's why I say we was kings. But it's true.
Yeah.
It said Revelation 20, he shall bind him 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he has a saying so easy a caveman can do it.
Oh, I may ask this, last night, my phone was acting weird last night, man. Why, when I was doing my lessons, Siri kept on coming on. Like, why it just kept popping on by itself? Like, both of my phones was doing that.
Yeah, Esau got cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
You could turn your phone off, it's still recording. So we're in a police state.
Yep.
So you put tape on the computer, the shit's still catching it.
Yeah, my phone was acting weird. It was just coming on by itself. Like, both of them was doing that. Like, every time I was doing the lesson, it was like, Siri, like, the little round thing that be popping up. It just kept popping up.
Yeah, like the voice. Like
voice.
you speak your voice.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? I wasn't even touching the phone. They never did that. Never.
That happened to me a couple of times too. That's how I know Esau got all this shit ready to go.
You know what? Your phone just did it. That's what made me bring it. I heard someone say, bing. And I'm just looking, I said, then it wasn't no text. I said, damn, that's what made me bring it up.
Then also, one of the brother's videos, the AI is messing with the AI is messing with the videos. So he could be saying something, Esau can make you say something totally different. That he say we're not ignorant of Satan's devices,
For the wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
Yes, because Esau is in rulership. And that's why there's such a gender war between men and women. Because scriptures clearly say be fruitful and multiply, but in this generation, people don't want to have children. That's like, you got kids, people looking down on this shit. Back then, from the beginning, when the Lord and Allahayim, they say this is good, Esau turned good evil.
Yeah, that's the vampire Brooklyn dude. Good is evil. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth. Their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more. As touching their wickedness.
That's why the Lord got his men out too, to cuss Esau ass out for what he's doing. Because he's not just destroying, he's destroying the earth. With the chemtrails, the fracking, taking up the oil out of the earth. Certain animals are being displaced and damn near extinct. You have certain animals with STDs and shit, because this dude, he believes in bestiality. He got to be stopped, man.
Profanely committed, neither will I suffer them in those things in which the wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent righteous blood crieth unto me. That goes back to Abel. When Cain slew him, and he said, "Yo, his blood cried out to him." You know what I'm saying? Because he was up there with the Heavenly Father complaining to him, like, "Yo, did you see what he just did?" And that plays in today. It's replaying all over again. You know, Esau is Cain, we Abel all over again. It's that same story.
That he's the murderer.
Murder, yep.
And how recently the shooting in was it Minnesota?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if she was an Israelite.
Nah,
woman,
she was Edom.
You know,
But she could be Jake.
she could have been, but she
yeah.
appeared face value. She appeared to be an Edomite
Right.
woman. But I was watching the video on X, Twitter, and when he shot, he said he was so in shock, but the spirit made him say, "You just did a murder."
Mhm.
That's Esau. He's a murderer.
He had a beard.
I don't know. I just don't do a recording. He was talking about the ice age.
Oh wow.
He,
Yeah.
when shots went off, you could hear him in the background. He said, "You just did a
her
murder."
murder. Yeah.
You know, that's Esau.
Yeah, that Edomite couldn't wait to use that chunky ass whatever 9mm he had. That didn't look at chunky on his head. He was dying to use that.
And now, because of that shooting, there's nationwide protests.
Mm-hmm.
Which that goes into uproars of the people. Then you had the mayor of Minnesota. He said he pretty much told ICE get the fuck out of our state,
Mm-hmm.
So that ties into Egyptian against
Egyptian.
You know.
When we get sick, I will.
Keep going.
Yeah. The wicked exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent, righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complaining continually. And therefore
Yeah,
saith,
and that's the hopeful elect, the ones that are sighing and crying for all these abominations. You know.
and therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter, and I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand.
Right, the modern day Egypt is America's Babylon the Great. You know, it's all these different kingdoms, which is, you know, scripture don't say America, but these different kingdoms are code word. They're talking about this place, but it's spiritually discerned.
Yeah.
You know, because when it says Egypt, that links with what? The house of bondage. And then when you go into the history of Egypt, that's the place where all the tribes were in bondage. So even in this modern day Egypt, all the tribes are here. That's why it says Israel and Judah were pressed together. Because that didn't happen under the Babylonian Empire or the Greek Empire or the Romans, but it is happening now. So this is modern day Egypt all over again.
I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm.
That goes with the chariot. You know, in ancient Egypt, we left it said a pillar of fire by day and by night. You know, so that was the chariot. But this time, the hopeful elect is actually going to be taken up in those chariots.
I will smite Egypt with plagues as before.
What they talking about? Blackouts. Ancient Egypt got hit with 3 days of darkness. It also got hit with the locusts, you know, slain the cattle, the frogs, the death of the firstborn. You know, so this plague that's going to hit this place is going to be worse, because even as Zechariah says, and this shall be the plague. You know.
And you say I'm gonna hit you, curse you with plagues that's not written in the book. You know, things that like stuff you never heard of. You know what I'm saying?
Like STDs. That shit is sky high right now. You know, you gotta be careful. You know, that shit is crazy. You know, but it also could be the juice, you know, 2020 juice. You know, there's a lot of videos coming out. How a lot of people got herpes and all type of shit.
Yeah.
You know, this is wild.
HIV out of nowhere. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plagues and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it.
This is from Reuters.com. It says ICE protest live. Federal agents shoot in Portland as unrest grows over Minneapolis. So they shot somebody in I think it's Minneapolis, Minnesota. But then they're now saying two people just got shot in Portland, Oregon. So that's the West Coast. So this is happening. It says U.S. federal agents have shot 2 in Portland, Oregon. Incident follows fatal shooting in Minnesota a day earlier. protests against immigration raids erupt in U.S. cities. You know, I mean, my bad. Go ahead.
Verse 13. They that till the ground shall mourn for
That
they,
goes into the farmers. You know, I remember seeing a video a while back on how Trump, I think the tariffs were actually hurting the farmers to where they couldn't get certain agricultural tools, and they were in debt. They couldn't get certain grants and loans. So that's affecting the farmers. And that Farmageddon, that been going on for years too. You know,
They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hell, and with fearful consolation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
which means destruction. A lot of people think that it's supposed to be a peaceful message, but even Isaiah, our people wanted to hear a peaceful message. They say prophesying to us lies and deceit. We want to hear smooth things. We don't want to hear that this place is going to end. World War III is coming. We don't want to hear that. Our people want to hear that they're going to make it here. A lot, even amongst Israelites, they want to actually build up a kingdom inside a fallen kingdom.
For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
What's going to come in the form of what? Martial law. These protests, they could be a catalyst for martial law. That's how Esau rolls. He brings the chaos, or he allows the chaos to, spill out. But he come in with his form of order, which is going to be martial law, 15-minute cities, to show you that in that movie, In Time, with Justin Timberlake.
One people should stand to fight against another, and sword in their hands.
Yeah, the modern day sword, it says nukes. These nations, they're going to start shooting nukes at each other. But even inside this country on a national level, it's going to be city against city, state against state, because it's all divided. It's red states, you have blue states.
Yes,
I believe on the West Coast, a lot of those states are blue. Then you look at the southern part of the map, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, Mississippi, those are red states.
That's a civil war. Right? For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition amongst men, and invading one another.
All that is happening right now. All these things are written there. We're in a town where it's happening.
They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
There's gonna come a time people don't give a damn what the hell Trump got to say, that mayor, none of that.
And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man should desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
And that could be for many different reasons. When you watch the movie I Am Legend, they took the whole bridge out after they released the pestilence. They took the bridge out. Or you could be, from what we saw in 2020, they locking shit down, quarantine. Or you can't come here unless we identify you, which is kind of what they're doing with the illegals, the migrants. We got those coming in, so we got to tag you, which is the rights device.
Yep. For because their pride in the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
So ain't nothing but terror coming to this place, man.
Yep.
That's why it says men shall be afraid. And so that means, which men are natural protectors, leaders, fighters, warriors. But it's gonna come to a time where men are gonna be afraid because there's gonna be a sense of hopelessness. That ties in with Jeremiah 30. He said, wherefore did I see every man with his hands on his loins?
Yeah.
That's like a hopeless feeling, like you can't escape.
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword.
People literally gonna do that because it's gonna get so bad. Read that from the top again.
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword.
And you said that's kind of already happening on a lower level now. It happens, home invasions, things of that nature, and it's not even to the point to where there's no food in the stores yet. You're already seeing, you're already seeing shit like that. So imagine when shit really does hit the fan.
And spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation, behold, saith the Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth, to reference me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanus, and to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them.
Oh, what? We go to 2nd Ezra 9.
So,
This is from End Time Headlines. It says, preparing for war? Question mark. Trump calls for record 1.5 trillion defense budget. So that should tell you right there. We're not in a time of peace, man. You got mass protests all over the country. ICE shooting people down. They're supposed to be detaining people, but they just sending you straight to the farm.
Yeah. Pack them up, ship them out.
Got it.
Yeah. The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 9. He answered me and then said, measure thou time diligent in itself, and when thou seest the part of the sign pass which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time where it is the highest will begin to visit the world which he hath made.
Yeah, and that's why there's an increase in terrorist sightings too. What the world calls UFOs, because the Lord is visited.
Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people, they just, because what's his name, Steve Ram, he be, giving updates on earthquakes. Recently, I think it was one thing yesterday somewhere, I forgot, but it was something.
Maybe y'all seen some in Japan, Alaska, and I believe anything above a 4.5, that's people gonna feel it. People could die.
And then it said uproars of the people. Now you're seeing it now coincide with the earthquakes that's going on. So we at the time, things are speeding up.
Yep. Let me read this.
Yeah.
It says, in a major policy announcement this week, President Donald Trump called on Congress to approve a record-breaking defense budget for fiscal year 2027, proposing that U.S. military spending be raised to 1.5 trillion. So that's where all your money is going. It's either going to other countries or you're beefing up the military. The Golden Dome. That's his part of his blessing to live by. He loved this war.
But don't that sound like the black woman? You take care of her, give her money, she take your money, give it to the next nigga. You know what I'm saying?
But Esau and Eve, they like fucking 2 peas in the pot.
Therefore, when there shall be been seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee. Even
right now, we're understanding that these prophecies. This is talking about this time.
For like as all that is made in the world have the beginning and the end, and the end of this manifest.
Read that again. Uproar to the people.
All right. Therefore, it shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people.
Yep, this is from End Time Headlines. It says U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents have shot 2 people in Portland. It's going down. It's only 1 week into the new year, so-called new year. Because it's the dead of winter and the weather is crazy. It was nice as hell outside.
Yeah, it was.
And then next week it could be cold, snowing, and then another thing, everybody's sick, man. Everybody got some type of cold or something. Esau done released some shit. So and the Lord he said, pestilence, famine, earthquake, wars, rumors of wars, false prophets.
Yeah, because I was feeling a little like sickness was coming on me early. I felt my stomach feeling queasy, like I feel like I want to throw up. And I was like, nah, it just kept.
We're constantly being bombarded by all type of shit when you think about it. The air, the water, the plastics, It says, on January 8th, 2026, 2 people were shot and wounded in Portland, Oregon, after an encounter involving federal agents from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the law enforcement arm of the Department of Homeland Security, according to local police and city officials. Officers were dispatched to a southeast Portland neighborhood in the early afternoon after reports of a shooting. All right, so there you go, man. They're shooting people, and well, a lot of these goddamn, ICE agents.
Yeah.
You know that spiritual ice, 'cause it's cold. Ice supposed to be cold, but it says the love of many shall wax cold. Ice. A lot of those ICE agents, I believe they're undercover white supremacists.
Yeah.
Because they be wearing scarves and shit.
Mm-hmm.
They go out there to target Israelites, man. Then they're being incentivized. I believe they're getting up to like student loan forgiveness, $50,000 sign-on bonus. So people are hurting right now. So a lot of people about to become ICE agents.
What happened to those I was thinking about that yesterday. I was meditating on what happened to those foreign troops.
Yeah, you don't hear nothing about it. That one guy, he said, you may not know me now, but pretty soon you're gonna know. It says county sheriff's offices are facing challenges in recruiting and retaining staff and part of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. It says ICE can offer competitive incentives, including higher salaries, student loan repayment options, and Trump he ended that. People want to start having their wages garnished if you got student loans. It says in the $50,000 sign-on bonus. So what you think people want to do? Especially Esau, he in that spirit, like, he got to fight and take his country back. You see Jake outnumbering him, Jake taking all his women.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not gonna go down without a fight.
Right. All right.
I think it's at 4 before here.
Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have the beginning, and the end is the end is manifest.
Meaning what? Meaning it's made plain, it's evident.
Even
meaning what? You can clearly tell this the end of the world.
world.
Like you can feel it. Like this shit ain't right.
Just like what talking with the brother earlier, man. It's like our people, they either they got like a normalcy bias, they don't want to admit, they know something going wrong, but like in their mind, they still continue to talk about what they gonna do, or my kids going, my daughter, my son going to college, and try to still want to, like you said earlier, want to make it in this world, but they don't see all the wickedness and the things that's going down. You ain't gonna have no future because Donald Duck, man, he's about to come down great wrath. You know what I'm saying? He's moving, and our people still thinking about a football game and still thinking about who's gonna win the Super Bowl.
Well, Esau's getting ready to slaughter people. They got white supremacists right now. They're training. Who think they're training for? They're training to come after the black and brown.
Yeah.
Anything not white.
It's like when you see our people, they in the trance, man. Like you'll tell them something, and they're like, "Yeah, I know, right?" And then in later on in the conversation, they talking about, "Yeah, this summer I'm about to do this, and I'm about to go on this vacation." Like, did you just hear anything I just told you?
But that goes back to Isaiah 6. When it said they have dull of hearing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in that spiritual sleep. That's why Romans it says now it's high time to wake out of sleep.
Yep. It's like it's crazy, man. It's like they like I was watching the lesson, what I'm saying, like I think the brother from Chicago was talking about how Jake, you gotta talk Matrix. Like they still in the Matrix, so you still gotta talk the Matrix, talk to them.
Yeah,
like,
you can't really
yeah. Can't talk outside of outside of the stratosphere of the Matrix.
You're around Jake, you gotta talk about sports and what 50 Cent doing.
Yeah. Yep.
You gotta know how to talk to him.
For the book of the 2nd Esdras, chapter 9, verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world have the beginning, and the end, and the end is manifest. Even so, the time also of the highest he hath planned the beginning, in the wonders and the powerful works, and the end is effect and the sign, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works.
Yeah, because you have faith, but you gotta you got to have some works behind that faith, you know, because you could say you have faith, but then, you know, you're not doing nothing. Like even Abraham had to show his faith by offering up Isaac, which he knew even if he was to, you know, slay Isaac, he had faith the Lord would raise him right back up, you know.
And
But he had some works behind that faith by taking him up there. Then Isaac said, well, you know, where's our sacrifice? He said, well, Abraham said, the Lord will provide, you know.
And by faith whereby ye have believed shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see.
And that's what it says in Revelation. He said, because you have kept the word of my patience, I shall keep thee
from the
hour
hour
of
of
temptation.
temptation. See my salvation in my land, within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning.
And that's that's the first fruits, you know, and ultimately 2/3 are gonna come back through that, you know. But then they gonna get a hell of an ass whooping before that, you know, from during the time of Jacob's trouble. This is from End Time Headlines. It says, Walls prepares National Guard after fatal shooting during ICE operation could spark powder keg. So that's uproars of people, protests. What says in Proverbs, when the wicked are in authority,
The people
mourn. You know, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said he is preparing the National Guard to ensure public safety. See that right there? That's division. Because in some states you got Trump using the guard to back ICE up, and then in other states you got the mayor of that state using the guard to protect the people from ICE.
Nice. Because I know, like I said, I just seen Philly, like somebody posted on Philly mayor, whatever, saying ICE come here. They said they're gonna arrest their ass. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna bring that sedition, you know, and kingdom, devil, Satan against Satan. You know, civil war spring out.
Got some.
Yep. Let's finish first. And that he had rolled my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. Proverbs 22, verse 3. The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple
Yeah, you're supposed to, you know, the prudent means to have the foresight. But the Lord gave that foresight to the men. But then he told his men to go out and, you know, to the highways and hedges and bid them to the marriage to give that foresight to the other people so they could come in, you know.
A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself.
Right, and what's the evil? Evil is the, you know, the economic collapse, Jacob's trouble, you know, Esau being ready to come down with great wrath, police state.
And what
You know?
be. But the simple pass it on and are punished.
You know what? They're not going to take heed. They're going to continue to stay into the world, and the punishment is going to be the nuclear destruction if you make it that far.
Verse 12, the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 12. The same must know it after death by pain, and therefore be.
Yeah, there it goes. You know, that nuclear destruction. That's what the second death, because the first death the Lord only spared 8 souls. The rest of the people, they got drowned. You know, that's a terrible way to go.
Yeah.
And then what's they say the next terrible way to go is what? By fire.
Fire.
And this is going to be a different kind of heat because it's a nuclear fire.
He's gonna still cook you while you alive. Like you're gonna feel, you know, you might have a point where you still smell your flesh burning, man. You hear it crackling, and you know,
Let the soul marinate.
Marinate. Yep.
You know.
Remember I said he's gonna heighten up all your senses in your body, turn it up so you can feel every nook and cranny of that fire, man. That's why he said that those that know my will are gonna be beaten with many stripes. I mean, he put you in that fire, man. He might leave you in there for a while until your soul come, till your soul come up down. And you're gonna feel every last bit of that pain, man. And then he might be talking to you at the same time and telling you what you did, why this is happening to you.
Yeah, Judgment Day.
Yep.
You know, you got all these movies about Judgment or Terminator Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Kind of show you that.
Right. Book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 12. The same must know it after death by pain, Verse 13, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and from whom the world is created.
Let's get Isaiah 19, get closer with that. Back in the article from End Time Headlines, it says, Walls prepares National Guard after fatal shooting during ICE operation could spark powder keg. It says Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said he is preparing the National Guard to ensure public safety following the deletion of a woman during a ICE enforcement operation, stressing that his administration is not seeking a confrontation with Washington. This is division. What the Lord said, a house divided can't stand. Speaking to reporters, Walz framed the move as a precaution rather than a signal of escalation, noting that the state's responsibility is to keep communities calm and protected during moments of heightened tension. The governor acknowledged the seriousness of the incident and the concerns it has raised, particularly among immigrant communities and local leaders. He emphasized that any loss of life is tragic and that questions surrounding the operations need clear answers. Wall said the state expects a full accounting of what happened and will cooperate with investigations to determine how the encounter turned deadly. Got it?
The book of the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 1. Burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud.
Right, when it says burden, it means like this is something you gotta bear. A burden is something you bear, right? So it's something that Esau got bear, meaning what him getting his ass whooped, him being destroyed, to him going to slavery for 1,000 years.
Basically, you just got to take it, you got to put the H on his chest and handle it. You know? The book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud.
That's the chariots, you know?
He should come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved.
And that links over Acts, because the angels told the apostles, disciples, he said, the same way you saw the Lord leave, the same way he's going to come back.
Right.
You know, and when John the Revelator had the vision, he said, behold, I come with clouds, and every eye shall see me. You know?
And shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
I mean, with all their council, you know, Golden Dome, you know, all their military operations, you know, whatever they think they're going to do, you know, because it said they're going to try to make war with the land, but none of that ain't going to work, you know.
And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
We see that happening now.
Yep.
You know, we see that the division, how divided this place is, and how it's, you know, this you know, this shit is like how you put it, like a house of cards. It's just waiting. It's just waiting for one little gust of wind, and this whole shit gonna collapse.
And they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city.
And here, if you look up right now, you can look up red states and blue states. You'll see Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, red. You know, I believe Washington, Cali, blue, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire. You know, Massachusetts, all those blue states. So it's completely divided.
And everyone against his and they shall fight one another against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers.
Yeah, Esau gonna try to do everything. See, right now it's not working. Sacrifices, you know, missing people from Walmart. What do you think you're doing? You're trying to get power from Satan.
Yep.
You know, ain't nothing working.
And you be like I was just saying earlier, you start to see more talking about the small hatters like coming to their country, they promoting, you know, Israel more. They're trying to promote like they the people now, like, you know, to get their mind to focus on them to being the people of the scripture. Like I said on YouTube, every time you look around, and then time I go in there to watch a video or something, you see, yeah, come to Israel, yeah, come to this, and you know that, you know, learn Hebrew, you know what I'm saying? like, and they promoting their movies and all that stuff now. So it's like it goes in with their enchantments. They're trying to get you back thinking they the people. So but their counsel is failing. You know what I'm saying? Because now that the cat is out of the bag, you know you're not the people no more. You know, the people is here. Even Esau coming out saying who the children of Israel is. You know what I'm saying?
This is from Responsible Statecraft. It says the small hatters wants to train ChatGPT to be more, pretty much to be more Amalek friendly. You know. Now whether this is, you know, some article says not true, and some say, you know, there's different information out there, but when you see signs of it, so why do they have 1,000 U.S. pastors go over there?
Yep.
You know, and what's that scripture in Romans, you know, that we use to say that they're gonna have the false pastor use obey the powers that be. So they're being trained, you know.
And I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards.
And that's what Babylon is full of. It's full of witches, warlocks, you know, Satanists, atheists, you know, crystal ball readers, you know.
And the Egyptian will I give over into the hand of the cruel Lord.
And that's Mr. Trump. That's that cruel Lord. You got ICE hunting people down, shooting them. You know.
I get Daniel 12.
Go ahead.
Daniel 2 and 21. You definitely got something there. Yep. That shit like got everybody sick. The book of Daniel chapter 2 verse 21, and he changes the time and the seasons.
Wait, that's 7. No, is it 2?
Yeah, 2.
Okay, my bad.
Or
I'm thinking about the one at 7.
Yeah, that's 27. Yeah, that's 20. I'm gonna go to 27. That's how
7 and 25, right?
Daniel 2 verse. Nah, 27. 27.
Okay, my bad.
The book of Daniel chapter 2 verse 27. And Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, secret which is the king have demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, and the magicians, and the soothsayers show unto the king. You know what I'm saying? Because now that's what it goes back to what they charmers and they try to go to their charmers and to their witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? And they idolaters that see what's going on, to stop what's going on, and to show them, you know, how they can win this. Was it Project Looking Glass and all that to find out how they can overcome the prophecies, or Yahushua coming, how they can upset prophecies. CERN, yep. You know what I'm saying? So now all that's gonna fail them. That's why when you go back to
there's this one Avengers movie, I forget the name, I forget which one. I think it's the one with Thanos when he deleted them.
Yeah.
I forget the guy, I forget the character's name, but he was doing like all the scenarios. There was only a 1% chance of them winning. But he don't got no chance. You know.
It was something like that.
Doctor Strange. It was Doctor Strange, and he was I think he was doing some type of spell to see how they could overthrow Thanos.
Things.
You know.
To change the course of the future, you know, it's like there's one little something that's off that could change the whole course. You know what I'm saying? So now they go into the astrologers and they witchcraft to try to find out how they can offset prophecy, but all that's going to fail them. You know,
it's really gonna like say when you come against the hopeful elect, all that's gonna do is gonna get the prophecies kicking faster.
Yep. Because they don't know that Yahushua don't put them in the what you call a trick bag. You know what I'm saying? Because he controls the left hand too. You know, they don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So they think they got everything. Satan's on their side, but Satan's taking orders from the Most High as well. You know, so all they doing, like you said, you know, they playing. It's gonna play against them. You know, but like they said, he set a snare or trap for us, but he gonna fall in that same gin himself because he's trying to, set us up. So with him coming with his MOTB, he don't know that's gonna be like his end. Like, as soon as he make that move, boom, got him. and it's over. You know what I'm saying? That's when the nuke's gonna fly. You know. So he sort of understand that he's under the control of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh too as well. You know. So yeah. So when it goes right here to what we just left off of
I think that's
Isaiah
Isaiah 19, 4.
4. So we go back to Isaiah 19 and 4. Book of Isaiah chapter 19 verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and the fierce king shall rule over them.
Yeah, he's damn near a dictator.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they have to have these No Kings Day protests. In that one video, he had AI dropping sludge on the people, you know, showing you how you feel about your protest.
Yep. Saith the Lord, and the Lord of hosts, and the water shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up, and they shall turn and river far away, and the brooks and the fence shall be empty and dried up, and the reeds and the flags and shall wither. The paper reeds by the brooks, and by the mouth of the brooks, everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and be no more. The fishers also shall mourn, and all that cast angles into the brooks shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the waters shall languish.
Got it?
That goes into water. That goes into not water. I mean that goes into works, like the businesses, because back then that was a big business of fishing, of farming. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you're saying when that plague came back then, in ancient time, you know, they ain't had no word. They starved to death because the Lord sent a plague to them. But that plague's going to shut down businesses. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to be able to go to the grocery stores. You ain't going to be able to do, you know, to go to whatever your essential jobs. That's why he said that some place that was shown that suddenly the food stores should be found empty. I think it was at 2nd Ezra, 16?
I think chapter 6.
It's chapter 6, yep.
You
You know,
keep reading down, it says there shall be no work for Egypt.
Egypt, yep. So that going into the business, like, you know, closing down. Everything is going out of business. You know? And then Seleucus is calling about wages. You know what I'm saying? Like the wages, you ain't gonna be making no money. You know what I'm saying?
That's because it's going to be worthless.
Worthless. Yep.
People are barely making it now. They're complaining about how they're being taxed and how, you know, evictions, repossessions, you know, shit's hard.
Yep.
Shit, you got to work damn near 60 plus hours a week to, you know,
Yep.
and try to stay afloat.
Yep. More they so book of Isaiah chapter 19 verse 9. Moreover, they that work and find flax, and they that weave networks shall be confounded, and they shall be broken in the purpose thereof. All that makes sluices and ponds for fish, surely the prince of Zoan and our fools, and counsel of the wise counselor, and Pharaoh's is becoming brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise and the son of the ancient kings? Man, they're going to the elites, man. You know, or we the Rothschilds, we this, we that. But now you're going to be broke. Because they say 1 hour should all your riches come to naught. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they gonna go, you know, I say from rags to riches.
Yep.
They gonna be the reverse. All the riches, they gonna, what's in Job, that swallowed down riches, they gonna bomb them up.
Mm-hmm.
So they gonna go from all the riches they got, it's gonna be given right back to the Israelites, starting with the elect, you know, try the elect. And he gonna go right to rags, holes, pits.
In an hour. That's gonna be crazy. That's why they gonna say let the rocks fall on us, how the face of the land, because they know they lost everything. That's like them, like when the stock market crashed, they go jump off the roof and kill themselves because they don't lost all their billions and millions of dollars. They in the poorhouse. They can't take me anymore. They gonna try to kill themselves.
Take us up.
Yep.
I got one more.
Yep.
Daniel 12:1, it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince was standing for the children of thy people. You know, that's Michael, the archangel. You know, the Most High gonna give him the order to, you know, what it says in Psalm, it said, I shall give, he that fear the Lord, I shall make his angels camp without you. Roughly paraphrasing. That's a military language.
Yeah.
But if you have an encampment about you, I mean, you're protected. You know, and one angel is, when one angel is doing damage. I believe there's a record in Kings where one angel took out 185,000 soldiers.
Soldiers, yeah.
You know,
Was it Syrians?
I believe they were Syrians.
Yep.
You know,
So that's because Angel the Archangel Michael, he's gonna be the one that's gonna download the spiritual powers to us to fight. Because he is like, you ever watch Hercules? Remember?
I seen that a minute ago.
So you remember the dude Ares, the god of war, right? He the one that will give men certain abilities to fight. You know what I'm saying? He'll fight sometimes, but he'll really put the spirit on you to, you know what I'm saying, to act out the combat that he sends you to do. You know what I'm saying? He'll give you like a weapon, like certain warriors. He'll give them like a spear or a magical sword, and they be able to fight and kill like thousands of troops by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Or he'll make you arrows or special arrows, and he'll give to the human. He'll basically teaching humans how to fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's how Archangel going to be, or Michael Allah, he's going to be the one that's going to be dishing out the spiritual powers for us to fight. You know, teach us hands to war. You know what I'm saying?
But also the chariots too.
Yep.
You know, we gonna have brothers that's gonna get spiritual power, but then we're gonna have the second coming with the Yahweh and the chariots.
Mm-hmm.
The chariots gonna come back. They're gonna do a lot of damage.
Yep. Oh yeah, the chariots gonna come down and help out too. Like they said, they might beam you up, to get you out of that, and put you in another city somewhere to get you out of that trouble. You know, we just speaking this, man. You know how they might. You know, we don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's gonna happen. You could did the King David. King David was getting, chased, beamed up David.
Yeah. Yep. Daniel 12:1 says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince who is standing for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as was never since there was it says it shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered. So like when shit's really, going to hell in a hell basket, that's when there's going to be great judgment, but at the same time there's going to be great miracles, divine interventions. There's going to be brothers that get spiritual power. There's going to be brothers that, the Lord allow angels to manifest and protect them. There's going to be brothers being protected by the chariots or guided. It says that, and even at that time, thy people shall be delivered. Everyone that shall be found written in the book. With that, end it. Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Ba'ashem, with that, I'm saying shalom. I only got like a couple hours of sleep.